What's going on, everybody? It's Chris Classic dropping another video. It's been a long time since I've been in the studio, as I've been doing a lot of car vlogs. There's been a lot of stuff that's been going on the past couple of weeks in my life and also wrestling. Before I go on, make sure you subscribe to the channel, also to subscribe to the C3 Ultimate Wrestling channel, and also check out our website, c3ultimatewrestling.com. We're working on something big next year. I'm not going to tell any details. Just thanks for supporting us. Pray for us. Just love us. We love y'all. I want to go over an interesting topic today. A lot of people have been sharing the article about Tony Khan saying that the EVPs of the company basically won't have any more decisions on and pull on how they're going to do the company. And when I say the VPs, we're talking about the Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega, the Bucks, and whoever he has on the VP list. I know that Brandy is commanding chief officer. I believe that's what it was. Branding officer, one of those two. You know what I mean. But going into it, I wanted to talk about that real quick as a fan of wrestling, as a wrestler myself, and also as a booker and a promoter. I wanted to talk about certain things and give a small insight to it. What's good and what's bad about it. The thing about it is this. We'll go with the good. The good part is when you have wrestlers, if they care for your company, and that's a huge asterisk. If they care for your company, they're going to do whatever it takes to make it number one. You're going to have the best women. You're going to have the best technical wrestlers, the best promos. You're going to have some young upstarts. And I think that AEW has done a great job for the most part with that. I don't know how many of it is between the VPs and how much it is between Tony, but we knew for a fact that when the company came to be and then we were introduced to Tony Khan, we knew that these guys were talking in this guy's ear and telling him, hey, you should do this and you should do that. You should do this and do that. I mean, a lot of people do want to own a wrestling company. A lot of people want to own their own business. So when you have guys that a lot of people consider the best at what they do, and then you hire them and then they trying to tell you what to do, you're probably going to listen to it. Now, I don't think all of the decisions that they've made are great. I think some of them were like, man, Tony, you should have stepped in. But a lot of people are still here and they're enjoying the ride. With that being said, going back into the positive things, I own my own company. So with my wife, and we talk about certain things, what we should do with this wrestler. Should we bring this person in? How does this person? Let's look at this person. What do you think? And stuff like that. We do that because we do want the best for our company, but we also want the best for the wrestlers. And that's hard for some to believe because everybody cannot win. Everybody cannot have a winning record. Everybody cannot have a title. But we appreciate everybody that's riding with us when we're doing these kind of things because we're just trying to have a great product. We want the emotion. We want the ups and downs. We want people on the edge of their seats and stuff like that. So with wrestlers in that position, if they, like I said, they care for the company, because I've seen wrestlers that do not care for the company. They only care for themselves, and they mismanage people. They treat people bad and stuff like that. So if they care for the company, I don't see nothing wrong with it. Now, going into the bad, I've been to many companies where the booker is best friends with this person who is a toxic person in the locker room. And this toxic person is on a winning streak, having the belt, beating everybody. Matches are the same. Matches are crappy. They see somebody with potential and then they just work them and then defeat them like nothing. And then the fans just lose interest. Like, that is frustrating to me because some people do have companies because they didn't like how other companies were ran, and then they were like, oh, I could do it and maybe I can do it better. I kind of did it too, but I wasn't mad or sour against no company or anything like that. But you do have some to be like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to show you, and okay, well, I'm going to book my friends and I'm going to do this stuff like that. It's always a dangerous thing to when you are good friends with people and then you give them titles or if you give them positions and stuff like that, especially if they're bad or they're racist, they're hateful people, homophobic. If they're all of that, then that's a bad reflection on your company. Now, if Kenny, Cody, and the Bucks were doing a lot of bad things and bad decisions, that reflects on that company. That reflects on Tony. That reflects on Tony and possibly his father's money at the end of the day. And that's what you guys do have to realize. Like, it's so easy for us to say, well, we want this to happen, we want this to happen, we want this to happen. You know, 2K22 is having GM mode. So I'm sure that's a driving force because everybody feels like they can do something better than what's out there and what's the current product of wrestling. So with that being said, you do have to realize that when you do book wrestlers, the wrestlers should have a passion for the company to be number one and not themselves. If you do not, then you will run the risk of people not caring for your company. Oh, well, we know who this person is. I mean, for example, the Reign of Terror, Triple H's Reign of Terror, right? We knew by then who he was married to. We also knew who his stepfather was. So we already knew what it was. Do I think that Triple H should have been a 13-time champion? No. Do I think he should have been a multiple-time champion? Yes. 13? No. 4 or 5 maybe? Yes. Now, with that being said again, I know I'm saying with that being said, just keep on, put the tally marks. Some of his matches were good, some of them were bad, but most of us did not like that, especially when the locker room started being exposed. I was a teen or whatever like that, and then you're like hearing this stuff and you're like, oh, okay, well, he's winning because he's Stephanie's husband and stuff like that, and then you're like, dang, I don't like that. Like that kind of doesn't make his reign solidified or whatever like that. Do you say he earned it or whatever like that? He did his part as a heel though. He did a wonderful job as a heel, but a lot of wrestlers didn't benefit off of it. I guess you can say Goldberg for a couple months he had it, and then Batista at the end because they were saying that Triple H couldn't even beat Batista. But then you, on the other side of the coin, on the positive flip, everybody loves what Triple H did with NXT. To the point to where people want Vince to retire and give it to Triple H. You get what I'm saying? Because he didn't put himself first. What I was saying, he tried to put his product first. He brought in Shawn Michaels, Hickenbottom, brought him in so they can do something. And then a lot of people were talking about it for years. Now, I do think that Vince wanted to take over because they couldn't beat Dynamite in ratings. It's my personal opinion. And, you know, Vince is all about the ratings and about the money. I do like NXT 2.0. I don't know exactly how much of it Vince controls and Triple H controls. I'm not even for that. I just see that it's a revamp. I enjoy the revamp. But even going back to the Golden Black brand, Triple H did a good job. So these are like the things that you got to think about when people run companies. I mean, even thinking of WCW, right? When you look at the documentaries, a lot of people were upset because a manager of a Pizza Hut was like running some of the decisions in WCW at one time, and people were pulling for Dusty to run it and other wrestlers, and it just didn't work, you know. And going to now, it happened a few months ago. It was the lady was a comedian or whatever. She wanted to have a writing position in WWE, and then she went to a podcast and said she had no idea who Bobby Lashley was, but they hired her on the spot. So you basically embarrassed WWE and you embarrassed yourself because you didn't even know. And even if you didn't know, I don't think going to a podcast was the best thing to do and saying that you have a lack of knowledge. People are already critical on WWE's writing and their booking and their decisions that they make. They still watch it, but a lot of people are still talking about it. So these are the things that you do have to take into consideration. Going to Cody. Now, contrary to popular belief, Cody is doing the same thing Kenny, the Bucks are doing. The difference is Kenny and the Bucks are heels. Cody's trying to be this hero that nobody asked for. And he also carries his wife. When I say carries his wife, I mean that's his wife is on his side. I'm not saying like a man, you know, don't go there. No cancellations over here. What I'm trying to say is Cody's trying to be this guy that we're supposed to love, but we don't love what he's doing. And then with Brandy, you know, Brandy needs a lot of work if she's going to wrestle in the ring. And, you know, when she first got booked, she was beating solid ring veterans. And people got sick of that quick. And then people got sick of Cody leaving and coming back. And then let's talk about the American Hero fiasco with Anthony Ogogo. And I'm just like, dude, this was unneeded. I understand what you were trying to do, but it was definitely not needed. It went nowhere. And then the excuses, the promo classes, and the this and that. Somebody had to be the fall guy. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. Somebody had to be the fall guy. It was Cody, because Cody had more things and more aspects in his character on what he brought to the table. He had more than what Kenny and the Bucks had. His family's involved, right? So even Arn and all of these people that he grew up with, or who helped raise him, or who helped train him and stuff like that. Everyone loves him. Happy Glocktober, by the way. Arn Anderson, you are an awesome man. You were always my favorite horseman. Sometimes. You know, I'm sorry, Rick was the man too. But anyway, going back into what I'm saying is, Cody had more to hate compared to the other guys. You know what I'm saying? When he first started in AEW, a lot of people were happy because they knew that his father's passion for the business, especially for what he did to NXT and what he was doing his whole life, everybody was like, it trickled down to Cody, and look at what Cody's doing. And Cody was the biggest wrestling star that they had. Regardless of how y'all feel about how Kenny was popular and all of these people, people know who Cody Rhodes was. Now, they're saying their relationship is strained. I don't know. I'm not behind the scenes. I'm not asking people. I'm not tagging people. I'm not friends with none of them. So I don't even know. So going back into it, a lot of people were expecting big things for Cody. Now with Cody, obviously wants to do a lot of other things. His passion may be in wrestling, but his passion is mixed with a whole bunch of stuff. So we don't know where it's going with this. So everybody's booing him. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people are booing him because they're sick of the antics. It got old quick. You know, the championships. You know, all the other VPs had a championship before. One still does. Bucks just lost theirs or whatever. I mean, I don't personally wouldn't do this kind of thing, but at the same time, they were heels. So you can hide behind that and use it as a scapegoat. I don't like them because they're bad guys. You know, when you were the TNT champion, people started liking it, but then they started booing it because it was just like, dude, you're a VP, you know. It's a lot of bigotry and irony in it, though, because some people are giving these people a pass. You know, some of their matches, they're not even giving people rematches, and sometimes the matches are not that great and they're not even that memorable. I'm just saying, though. Like, we just gotta be honest here. I just wanted to give you guys like a small or a big insight on it. You know, there are times where it's awesome that a wrestler has a authority figure position to where they want best for the company. And sometimes it's bad because some can misuse their power. They can push the wrong people. They can de-push or derail or treat people a certain way. So these are the things to just think about. Like with Tony Khan, he's obviously a passionate person about the company. I don't think he like wants to just do sporadic things, but I'm thinking he's also taking the reins and he's also being mature, as in everything that he does, it falls on him. It doesn't fall on Kenny, doesn't fall on Cody, doesn't fall on that. So now he's going to the forefront, which you should do as a business owner. You're going to the forefront and you're taking full responsibility. Now, I wish you would have did this with the Max Caster situation, but it is what it is. My name is Chris Classic. Let's take it home.